What's up, guys? In today's video, I'll be touring the Premier Sips. Check it out. They give me a hat. Premier Sips factory that creates the structurally insulated panels for me. Then I'll take delivery of them using this telehandler, and yeah, check it out.
For our purposes, what we do primarily, is laminate. So we are laminating skins to this foam, and we're cutting out windows, doors, cutting all the panels to size for that specific application. So whether it's your house, somebody's backyard dadu, a school roof, in all different applications. One of the things that is different about what we do is we don't necessarily tie ourselves to the whole project quite often. Quite often you may have a slab here in Washington State, so we're just doing the walls and the roof. In other jobs, there's already a wall system that they want to use, so we're just doing the roof. So it really doesn't, we kind of pick and choose what we're doing based on what the design lends itself to.
I have seen some companies doing floors as well. Do you guys do
floors
that?
As well, depending on the application. So I'll run you through a couple of these scenarios here. So here you see a job that's in a northern climate where you have basically pilings, right? And that floor is elevated. So in that scenario, you see floor panels, right? So that makes sense. Here you see a timber frame. Well, a timber frame panels are going to act like a curtain wall assembly, or like a curtain you would think about. So they're basically covering and creating the shell, but they're not really acting as a structural element, other than the fact that they're taking transverse loads from wind and that kind of thing. In other areas, like your house, the SIPs provide the structural element too, which is the acronym for the product, Structural Insulated Panel. Here's a restaurant. It's called Bahama Breeze. It's over at South Center. And we did the whole roof system on this particular job, but the walls, because the walls, it's a restaurant. They got lots of windows, lots of openings, that kind of thing. Didn't make a ton of sense for us to do the walls because there wasn't a lot of walls to be had. So, you look at around, here's a school. We did the SIP panels on top of the parallel core trusses in the school. This is South Kitsap School out in Bremerton area. And then you look at kind of different applications. Here's an application where we did do floors, walls, and roof. This is a little cabin in the middle of, over in Lake Chelan, out towards Stehekin, which is in the middle of nowhere, basically. And so having everything prefabricated and kind of all the labor done off-site, so when they brought it in to the site, it could be, function and install faster is the name of the game.
When the panels are used for flooring, are they always put on top of a truss system?
They would be put on some sort of beam system, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Or you could put them on a standard footing stem wall system. You could do it that way too.
Okay.
Yeah. Not many people can frame this complex of a roof, but our computer doesn't know the difference between a straight line and a circle. It knows what you tell it. And so it can manufacture this, which is truly an ellipse, because it's actually on a pitch also, right?
Okay.
So that's a true ellipse, and it can manufacture that quite easily. That's one of the things that this gentleman does, is basically take a design and coordinate how those pieces fit together on a paper. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces that's coming out of that 8x16 or 8x20 panel, or whatever the size of that final panel is.
Cool.
Okay. So now we've said, hey, we're going to do your job, right? And they're going to take your design and they're going to panelize it. Basically, they're going to say, okay, this wall's X tall, X wide, and it's going to take all these pieces, and I should break it here because I've got a header here, and I should not break it here because I don't have to deal with that there. And through that process, they'll basically redline, itemize. So this is the one that he's working on here, where he's already got his set of revisions back from the engineer, and he's changing based on their red lines, saying, hey, this needs to be a header, this can be a single trimmer, a double trimmer, this needs to be this, cross this out, change this, so on and so forth. So we make our best attempt. Let's say he's got a set that's just first draw. He's going to make his best attempt to kind of understand what the engineer is going to do to him. But we don't always know, right? So we're going to get red lines back regardless. They may be minimal, it may be bloody, but we'll learn from it, right?
Of course, the most exciting thing about the factory would be the manufacturing itself. Unfortunately, due to secrets in how they manufacture, I was not allowed to video here. But they sent me these videos so you could see at least a little bit about how it's done. Basically, the way it is you got an OSB that gets covered in glue, then you have insulation that gets added on top of that, and then more glue and another layer of OSB. That gets pressed together until you see this final sheet of structurally insulated panels. These can then be as large as 8 by, I believe it's 22 or 24, and that can get further cut down by the computer to whatever size is needed for your project.
Integrate that into your... Absolutely.
Yeah. Got the graphite over here. So on Friday, that will be shipped out to me. Today is a big day. I have rented this telehandler. I own these extensions, put those on, because today is the day we are taking delivery of the SIP panels that we ordered from Premier SIPs. They are maximum width of 8 foot, and some of them are up to 22 foot long. It can be 24, but mine are 22. So what I've done is I made all these 4x4s leveled. I put it on a slight slope, but the front is the same height as and the back is all the same height, so that the panels will stay nice and flat, but will have ability to drain water off. Did the same over here. So here I'm going to put all the big panels. They go in here. Over here, some smaller panels and accessories that I'm getting. These extensions make the forks a little wider and also longer. They're 82 inches long, so almost 7 feet. Here you can see the delivery arriving at my place. It was Champion Transport Incorporated out of Rainier, Washington. And those guys are total pros. They drove up backed up my driveway, no issues whatsoever. And also they were very good at guiding this amateur operator of the telehandler. I had practiced 20-30 minutes on the telehandler before he got there. So what we did was I picked up the top portion, then they drove off. I had to put the top portion off a little bit in front, and then came back, picked up the bottom. The reason was that it was just so heavy, or not heavy, but unstable. The unit that I had, you couldn't get the forks very far apart, so it just felt really tippy. So anyway, decided to split it. Here we got the bottom. Of course, these telehandlers, they can crab, they can steer on the front and back. As I talked about earlier, everything was labeled or leveled off, but we had some extra wood that I just put on top there to make it easier to slide the forks out after we placed it. So it's a little first hand here of not necessarily how to do it, but how I did it. Got it in there though. That's all that matters. And it went pretty easily actually. Those guys just gave really good hand signals. Told me what to do. All the panels that you can see are darker. They have graphite in them. They are more expensive, but you get more R value per inch. There we go. Picked up that top half and then just place it back on top. Now it's sitting in the same order as they shipped it out. The only reason why that is important is that they place it in the order that you'll be building based on what you told them during the preparation for the shipping. So here the first container first truck is emptied out. They take off. Then the second truck will come on in. Actually, this is just a small section also on the same first truck. So we'll place that one down here. This one was so narrow that I was able to pick up the whole stack without any issues. Premier Sips told me the dimensions of every stack on each trailer. So I had plenty of ability to plan ahead to get a nice solid base for the project or the the panels. It's important that they are on a specific, or you have so and so many supports underneath, and that they are also level so that your panels don't become warped while they're sitting there waiting for you to get ready. Here we go. Pick the top off. It taught me that little trick. You see, you point down with the forks. It's easier to get them out when it's a tight squeeze. I had the small panels right behind me, that's why it was a tight squeeze. So here we go, pick those up, put them on top. Decided not to place them back in the same order. The reason was just that they're pretty stable the way it was. Here we go, those are the splines. Put those to the side. They go in between the panels in certain areas. Other places use regular wood. It all depends on what it's being used for. Here we go, final piece there. That's the glue and that kind of stuff. You'll see that here in a little bit. Picked it up, drove it off to the side. All right, boys and girls, that went really well. Just finished the delivery. We got 3 big stacks here of walls and roofs, as well as a small stack of headers and glue and other accessories. Got my kit up on top. Next now is I bought some tarps on Amazon. I'll put the link below, and we're gonna tarp them lightly. I also have a tarp underneath so that water won't come up from below. So yeah, that'll be next. You can see I'm spreading out the tarps, bought them on Amazon. You want light colored tarps, nothing dark, it will trap too much heat. And also I put stakes in the ground, put some bungee cords to those out sideways a little bit so that you still have good airflow underneath. All right, now let's take a look and see what we received here. So we have all the wall panels on this side, all the gray ones. They have a little bit better R value per inch, and that's my roof. And over here, that's where we have the majority of the big walls. So all the white stuff is walls. And here we have the splines. So all these ones, they go between the panels. And yeah, you connect them together. Now up on top here, we have all the accoutrements that come with. So we have a lot of Premier SIP sealant. We have, what else? Tapes. Yeah, I'm not sure. We'll cut that open and have a look. So they've done a fantastic job of strapping everything. It's metal straps. Everything is tied together. Got some extra plywood just to hold it together. This one was sitting on top here, protecting the tapes. And also here I got my plants, and they have been laminated. So that is going above and beyond here. Let's see. I can't get them out that easily, but I'll show you that later. Then we got all the SIP tapes, some different widths. One of them goes over the ridge beam. And then we have all the sealant. So overall, I would say that this went really well today. The whole delivery was not really a problem at all. I had prepared well. I had set up stacks of where to drop everything. If anything, I wish I had a little bit more time on that machine, more than nothing. But, we figured it out as we went. So, yeah. Premier Sips did a great job. I'm excited to start stacking this. I am going to wait a little bit until it gets a little warmer and less likely of rain. But in the meantime, I'll be continuing to work on the garage, get the radiant floor heating done. I'm just now wrapping up the waterproofing of the foundation. I'll give you a little sneak peek here for that video coming later on. So here we go. You can see that there's a fabric all around there. There's all sorts of waterproofing behind there that you will have to see in another video. Then we're using this heat sheet heavy for radiant floor heating, and another layer underneath that also. So we have R20 sub the slab. So anyway, please like and subscribe if you'd like to see this SIP build progress. and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.